Next, we have Steve Chappell, which is the Director of Trading Systems Development, TSD. Told you I would remember as long as I could put those letters in my head. Steve has been here for 18 years, and he happens to be one of my best friends, actually, and a mentor to me. So Steve is going to have a couple of picks to look at.
All right, so let's, whichever one you want to look at first, Glenn.
All right, let's go over to OMI.
Oh, yes, the underdog. I like it. So this, I figured, knowing the esteemed colleagues that I have here flanking both sides, I feel surrounded.
Well, you are. Okay.
I know that I knew Jerry would be going technical analysis and doing a great job with that. I knew Jim would be going retirement and finding some awful great overall quality stocks for you. I knew that was going to happen in spades. So and Glenn obviously finding high-flying stocks and high-flying industries. So I went a different route. And I want, so that everybody that attends this session can get something, some of you out there might want to take a flyer or two on some potential trades that could be big home runs. Owens & Minor is one of those kinds of companies. And what you have here on the chart right now, Glenn's put it up there nicely. We've got price in the candlesticks. We've got a 20 MA, which also is acting nicely as support right now for the stock. Most importantly, though, the observation that I made when looking at this, and by the way, we traded this in the Jockey Club several sessions ago, and we're still in it right now. So we actually own this stock. I saw the jump in earnings. If you look, and not only the jump in earnings, but the critical situation where we've gone from negative forecasted earnings a year out to positive forecasted and rising outlook beyond that. So here again, this is not going to be a value pick. It's not going to be a safe and sound retirement-minded stock. It's going to be a stock that looks to be very, very hot. This was called Hot Stock Picks. And it's one that I have picked myself, and I think it's a good pick for the reasons mentioned. I would say the same thing about entry at this point. I would say that you're seeing a little bit of weakness on the current candle, a little bit of indecision, not quite a doji, at least by the constraints of definition of doji, but enough weakness there where I would also do the buy stop limit order for the following session. So the buy stop is a price at which you stop buying at that price or below. So currently, what's the high on that candle, Glenn?
The high
843
is $8.43.
$8.43. Now this is an $8 stock, so you don't use 12.5 cents.
Right.
Okay, that's shaving percentages off your potential return. So you just want to use a few pennies. I would put it 4 pennies above the high, something like this. You don't want to do 1 or 2 because prices sometimes don't stop on a dime, but definitely don't want to do 12. So maybe 4 cents above the high on that one. I think you might see that happen before it pulls back here, but also the same thing would apply. I always have a two-prong approach. I'll either take the new high because, it hit a new high yesterday, it hit a new high the day before that, it hit a new high the day before that, it hit a new high the day before that. So there's no such thing as being too high. Or, retrace to the 20 and rinse and repeat, do the same tactic there. And I'll give it to you guys, whoever wants to
I love the 20-day EMA sloping upward. Any time you look at moving averages or use moving averages in your analysis, you want that pattern. You want that upward slope if you're bullish, downward slope if you're bearish. Earnings just turning positive, I think that's great. It looks great. Just got a buy rating last month. Cool. Looks good.
And I'm looking at both things.
So you definitely don't want to buy that one.
Right.
Earnings is the engine that drives the stock's price higher. Okay. Yeah. Number one. Number two, don't sleep on a stock getting a buy recommendation. A stock takes a lot of work for a stock to get a buy recommendation, and as it's moving up, earnings are getting better, going from negative to positive, using that 20-day exponential moving average. All things are in play. That is, again, the epitome. I like to use that word, epitome. Mm-hmm. That's the epitome of what a hot stock looks like.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, you knew it was coming. But all right. Any other? Jim?
Yeah, I'll just add real quick. I know my title is Retirement Services, and the stocks I'm going to choose aren't going to look like this exactly. Or I'm not going to analyze them that way exactly. However, as a trader, someone who used to work on trading desk, I would probably be in this stock already. If I'm looking at this, I have a stock trading higher than yesterday's high. I've got green lights across the board, and what everybody's already commented on, the stock looks great. You know, I'd probably be in the stock now.
I am.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm looking at it,
Yeah.
yeah, I want to buy it on uptick, but
Yeah.
so what do? Wait till tomorrow's next high? I don't need to do that. You
That's
know,
right.
so I still might put the buy stop in and maybe just a couple of pennies,
Yeah.
as Steve said, but listen, if it's a hot stock and the market's rising, I like the way it looks here.
And notice that we have been in this little sideways move for a long time. What's the stock doing overall? It's definitely moving up. Definitely moving up. All right. Let's go to your next stock.
So
Steve.
we're going to go literally from, well, almost anyway, from one side of the spectrum to the other. That's very much a speculative play there. I want to make that clear. It does look really good from that perspective. This one is actually the top VST, top Midas Touch stock in the platform right now, and it's CPRX. Great little drug company. They've got a lot of really cool stuff in the pipeline. I don't want to get into all of that. Okay, we can go on and on and on about that, but they've got a couple of phase 3 clinical trials coming down the pipe here near term, and they're making money and only at a $7 price point. Which is difficult to do for these types of companies. So again, I like the growth here. You can't see it on the chart as we have it now, but this too is a company that has gone from negative forecasted earnings growth to positive forecasted earnings growth, and the growth has been very, very nice there as well. And everything that I read up on it is only expecting that picture to improve. What matters most is VectorVest expects that picture to continue to improve. So everything looks good here, at least from the surface. This stock is trading more at its valuation currently than the other stocks, so it's got some value to this trade. Most importantly, it's got extremely high growth, and inevitably that's what's driving the stock. Tactic remains the same. This one maybe got more hot than I wanted to before we started this particular presentation. I kind of feel like it's gone a long way today, and that usually, you know, you want to be careful with that if you're looking to enter today or tomorrow. I would definitely wait for tomorrow. One reason is that's the tallest candlestick you see for the last 3 months, so you're already 2 sigma on a particular day. So here again, I just buy above the high, wait for the pullback. My method never changes. It's always the same.
What I like about when Steve picks a stock, especially if it's a drug stock or any stock in general, Steve does a lot of homework behind the stock.
Just a little.
Well, just, you know, and knowing
Enough.
things like this company's got drugs in the pipeline, that they're already making money. The earnings per share shows that. And he's right. A lot of these lower dollar stocks, it takes a lot of work to really be able to make money and be that lower of a dollar stock, but beautiful looking equity curve.
Looks
Anybody
good.
else?
Looks great.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys can say the facts, you know.
What's the fact?
If you don't like something, say it, you know.
No,
What's not
I
to
don't
like?
think there's
All
much
right, all
not
right,
to
all
like
right.
What's
about
not
this.
to like?
Just
Oh,
making sure.
Jim's going to
No,
say
I was
something.
just going to say quickly, I know we're looking at a 3-month graph, but you know, from a more historical view, I mean, can the stock
How
go
much
higher? Has
higher
it
was
been
it? Right,
higher?
right.
I mean, is this just the beginning of
Go
a
to a
move?
year,
Just
Glenn.
try 1 year, just out of curiosity.
That's
So
a
you-
1
so
year
you got
high.
a 1 year high here too, which again leads me to, you know, it ticks above that intraday high, and there's where my order is in as well.
And Steve was right. It was negative, but look at the transformation from sell to hold to buy and why it's a hot stock. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Now, if you're new to the software or would like refresher information about the software, click on this Getting Started video right here. Thanks to all of your input, here's a YouTube video that we think would be perfect for you. Click right here. If nothing else, folks, just hit the subscribe button right here.